Okay. So just to do when the new edition. I'm using cheap, but they got it, but they're on.
I get the 8th.
Oh, yeah. 8th edition?
I think.
What'd you do?
I think it's still the 8th edition.
Fifth and seventh? Yeah, I think that was fifth in 2019 first time. I think it 2018.
And the wow.
Hey, Robert.
I remember in 1990, there was a yellow book, and that said good luck on it. And I handed it to you. That was.
Really? Damn. I know offense. I think Ron's older than you, right?
Save yourself.
I have my fifth, 1978.
Yeah, he's got.
Darius is just Darius.
You are the old one.
No. Darius is 2 months,
Yes.
2 months older than me. He's 2 months older than me.
March is older than you. Do you, all three of you guys with this?
Okay.
It's met. Okay. It's like he's not one. Yeah, yes, she is.
Well, she's used to it.
Do we get a milk crate soon? Ron, you took where I was going to say. I'm going around that. Yeah, you're not relevant. You're being presented in front of the floor. There's coordination. Yes. Surprise!
You'll have to find out.
We're gonna learn together.
Let's talk about it. He's here.
Bring my.
Don't look at me.
There was a guy looking for his. Attracted him like.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He's there in the bar line. He's not answering.
That's who it was.
This is what you get when you join the fire service. Peak male performance. Amber has like a really young picture of you in Army. You look like a baby. It looks like Jake. Yeah.
He is mine. All right, 7 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. There is a quorum. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Please, the board, I'd like to add item 9.5, entitled IT cabinet. Under new business, sorry.
Okay. All right, with that addition, do we have a motion to approve the agenda? All right. The public comment, which there's none addressed. Approval of there are 4 minutes. One regular, one special, actually 2 specials. So Do we have have we had a chance to look at the minutes? Is there any discussion about the minutes? All in favor? Matt, we have time for the minutes.
As of January 31st, 2024, in the assets section, checking account, general fund, 1,230,738. Capital reserve, 671,840.96. In the building and land fund, 53,194.12. Total assets of 1,937,653.46. Current liability for 8,496.46. During the same time, since period, income for 1,354,492.24, with expenses of $200,107.14.
Make a motion to approve as read.
Second.
All in favor? Approval of the ordinance to disperse and pay the bills. Do I have a motion?
Okay. Second.
All in favor? Communications, please.
Yes, number one in your packet is proof that our audit report has been filed with the Missouri State Auditor's Office and accepted. Also included in your board packet for your pleasure is a copy of the final audit, which you guys approved at the great board meeting. Item 2, we got this awesome, lovely letter, notice of policy conditional renewal for our insurance policy. And it says, this notice is to advise that we are agreeable to renewing this policy subject to the following. Premium will be increasing by more than 25%. So they're gonna get their money back out of us for, you know, the tornado that was our fault. This one, let them know. And then we unfortunately last week did get the call from ISO. We are up for our next ISO audit. He wanted everything done and completed by April. I told him absolutely not. And I got him agreed to push back the date until the time that our new tanker is supposedly supposed to be, which we have an update on that sometime in May. So June, July, at some point we will complete the ISO audit and hopefully things go well. I discussed with Jim too, the ISO, our ISO rep, in about 2 years, we're going to have to haul them out and do a special ISO review once the ladder truck comes in and once the city builds the water tower. So we'll have a busy couple of years dealing with at least 2 ISO reviews. Hopefully, hopefully we are successful in dropping from a 5 to a 4 at one of those reviews. So we're rolling with that.
Right. Staff report, fire marshal report.
For the month of January, 4 building permits were issued. Total fees charged $5,611. Fees collected were $163. I'm already issued permit number 8 for the year yesterday, so we're pretty busy in the fire marshal's office doing lots of big projects.
All right, fire chief's report.
Yes. January 2024 finished with 131 calls for service. We're going to talk about that next item on there later in the board meeting. On the administration division side of things, we are working on multiple grants at this time. Jefferson Memorial Grant is out. We applied for new AEDs since ours are outdated. Kind of a funny story. When we first applied for the AED grant, what was that, 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
Well, first year they had the grant.
Yeah. The total cost of that grant for all the AEDs was $8,800. Yeah. To replace all of them now is $35,000. So gone up considerably, unfortunately. The ARPA funding grants, again, as we discussed, we put in for the building remodel down here. We still have not heard anything back on that yet, unless you have something.
Their system's still been on good upgrades.
Okay, cool. We have finally made some progress with the COVID recovery grant with Request. It looks like we'll be getting approximately $22,000 back from that at some point in the next month or two. We had another meeting on the 23rd of January with them. Finally got some people at FEMA that know what they're doing and are moving us in the right direction. So, no new update really on the remodel except for this one from Wayne. The switch over from Nationwide to Lincoln is complete. Charlie, I can't say his last name because I can't pronounce it. Charlie from our, whatever she just said. Our Lincoln guy came down and met with all the crews, and everybody should be lined out and moving in the right direction. And thank you to Julie. She has taken obviously on the task of managing all of that, which is great. So continuing on with the policy rewrite from Lexipol. Still working on the stoplight issue. I don't have an update. Then we're waiting on grant funding with the city for that one. We are finalizing everything with the station alerting system. We had a meeting with them. Last week they came out and we met with the electrical engineers and all of that. We're waiting on the final installation bid on the electrical side of that for the system. They're hoping at some point in May to get started with that project. Next year marks our 75th anniversary of organized fire protection in Hillsborough. We got a committee rolling, and we're going to plan an event, possibly looking at the 27th of April for the event. So obviously we want our current directors to hopefully be here and attend that event. That is looking like an open house along with a ceremony to commemorate the 75th anniversary. We're going to try to get a lot of the retired guys back for that event. We got kind of a list going. So if you guys can think of anybody.
That's this year.
That is this year. So 1949 has been Hillsborough Firefighting Association. So we're rolling with that, and Jason's kind of leading all of that. The drone is in and has been delivered. You turn around. It's right there, that fancy thing. Behind you.
Wow.
Anything you guys want to say about it?
Awesome. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys for,
Yeah, let's get that.
Can I take it home tonight?
Sales rep was here today and they spent several hours training on it. They flew it. We're working on getting their pilot training done and the necessary stuff to comply with the FAA regulations. It's a pretty bad to the bone device, no doubt about it. So it's cool. It's great. I could tell you just this year alone, it's been every other week that a drone has been deployed somewhere
For a lost person.
missing person, and along like that. So it will be utilized.
sounded like they used it on the brush fire at High Ridge too.
They have, yeah.
And that sounded really cool because he said, I can see y'all, I can see everything that's going on.
Yep. It's gonna be a huge benefit.
Yeah.
We're going to, and I talked to Matt earlier, we're gonna go to the next Civic Club meeting and kind of meet with them and show that off to them.
Is it insured under our equipment?
It is gonna be insured under our equipment. Okay. So Grant's gonna insure it. I've already been in contact with him. So he's working on getting all the stuff together.
What can it do at nighttime?
What's that?
What can it do at nighttime?
Anything? Everything?
What, spotlight, infrared?
It doesn't have the spotlight speaker.
Oh,
It's good.
That was an option.
That's an option.
Yeah, we'll be looking at it.
It's got essentially 4 lights, law enforcement mode. It's got the lights on the 4 corners and strobes on the top and the bottom. It's called like blackout mode for stealth. If you're looking, if like you're helping law enforcement look for somebody that ran away, obviously don't want to know that the drone's in there. You can black it out. There's all kinds of cool stuff.
That's awesome, guys. That'll save somebody's life.
It will. Absolutely. The latest update on the new tanker is the holdup is the pump from Hale. It's a pump manufacturer. It is now slated to be delivered, the pump, May 1st to the factory. but evidently it's been pushed back multiple times, so. We're hoping at some point midsummer that thing gets done.
Are they building on the truck and going around it, or is it to a point where they can't do anything basically without the pump?
I think they're to the point where they can't do much without that pump.
He did tell me they have to wait to build the pump module itself until the pump arrives. Because he said they all vary just a little bit in size. So,
Wow. Great stuff, so. Everything's been, obviously ordered with the new ladder truck. We got an update from Suffolk that indicates it's slated for completion in December of 25.
It's all due though.
So, it does, hopefully they order it. Things are, and I did make it public since we're under agreement and contract, at least with our staff here. Obviously, things are progressing nicely with the closing of Casey's next door. We're looking at the week of March 18th to close on that property. Casey's messed up the contract. I had to go back and rewrite a portion of the contract, but it all worked out. They accepted it, so we're good to go. It all had to do with where the earnest money went to. So it's all taken care of. As far as the fleet and the building and everything else, within the past month, if we own it, it broke. So you can see the complete list there. It was not a very good month, was it, Brayden?
Great.
It was not Braden's fault. It just happened. He was here like all in one day. So, but the turbo went out in 14. It was replaced under warranty. The DEF header went out in 14. Part was under warranty. It was upgraded to a newer model that's supposed to not cause any issues anymore. We're going to have to pay for the labor, but the part itself was warranty. The electronic deck gun is still broken. We're awaiting a motor for it. And the front tires finally came in and were finally replaced. For some reason, the United States military had to give us, I guess they had an order on all those tires, so they had to give us permission to release those tires back to the dealer so they could sell us. So, tailpipe fell off at 6524. That was fixed in-house. It has a fairly large water leak, but that has since rectified itself for some unknown reason why it's suddenly out of the blue stopped leaking. The pump discharge gauges are froze and need to be replaced. I believe Dean ordered those.
That was 13.
Oh, that was 13. Sorry, see, I'm confused.
I think I got to check some point.
Okay.
I'll be up there next week.
The coolant line blew on 24. It was repaired as well too. And crews are continuing to train on various topics. We trained with the training academy last week. Finished up on electric vehicle fires. They are events away.
Any questions, comments about the chief's report? All right, then moving on to shop steward report.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. You're a good man, Mitch. Old business, there was none. New business from Gilmoreville.
Our attorney has funded the financing of the apparatus and purchase of the building over to Gilmoreville, who are the large bond attorneys and political subdivision financing people across the St. Louis metropolitan. I could not feel comfortable handling that at this point in time, which is fine. We want to ensure that we do everything right. What I just handed you is the current terms as to what we're looking at. So they changed it, or this attorney wanted to change it from the original plan of a tax anticipation note to a lease purchase agreement, which is fine. It's still going to include everything that we need within that, a draw option for the first 3 years, so we can obviously, buy the building and do everything we need to do with the truck. And you can kind of read down through there as to where we're at. Interest rate 6.25% for year one. And then the Wall Street Journal prime rate minus the 2% thereafter. Collateral obviously is the leased property. Let's see, there was one thing, yeah, the gross up provision, I had some questions about. If you read that, it says annual interest rate to be higher in the event that interest is not paid, is not tax exempt, and the fire district does not maintain satisfactory deposit balances with the bank. I asked them to define what that means. And basically, it means we're going to leave our accounts at Bankstar during the term of the loan, which is
20 years.
perfectly fine. And I asked Jason Terry from Gilmore Bell, we need to write in the contract that we maintain our current agreement with Bankstar as well too.
For free accounts.
The free account,
Right.
our current interest rate, everything stays the same. We are not going to find a better deal than what we have now. And you've noticed that all the other banks around won't touch the deal that we have. So if we can lock that in for the next 20 years. So that is what I am pushing the attorney in the direction of that. Okay. So with that being said, that's where we're at with the loan. Obviously the agreement to be signed with Gilmore Bell is enclosed as well too. The cost of him can be financed into there, which I don't think we should do. We can just move some money around if we have to. I'd rather not finance it. Still with money, but with all the research he's done, and he's been very responsive and lots of emails back and forth from him. So we're looking in the neighborhood of about $16,500 pay for services to get that done.
Do you have that agreement ready?
I did.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
All in favor? First responder grant.
Yes. I'd like to contract with First Responder Grant LLC to help write this year's AFG grant. Jason, you want to tell them what we're going for?
Sure. What we're looking for is, right now, we're looking at 9 second turnout gear that are beyond the expiration date, and if you with them. It's 9 cups, 9 pants, 9 boots, 9 helmets, 18 pair of gloves, 18 hoods, 14 sets of wildland gear, coat, pant, helmet, goggles, hood, boots, gloves, whole 9 yards. Looking around $70-something thousand. We were trying to replace some more helmets and boots in that, but the way they rewrote it this year, we can't. I don't know if I even tell you that. We'd have to write a separate one, and that would be another $2,000 maybe. I don't think you want to mess with that either.
We get all that, we can buy a few helmets.
I'm sure we can manage. And the big thing is we wrote it ourselves, Chief and I, last year, and we got it, but they've changed so much stuff this year. I can't keep up with it, and I know Chief doesn't have time to keep up with it. So, and these guys are real good. This is who we used. We got 18, and then the SCBA compressor using these people years ago. I don't see why not go back to them. They got a real good track record. So,
1995. 1,995.
What you want, guys?
I'll make a motion.
okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Letter of accommodation.
Yeah, I find it necessary here after a recent incident to recognize 3 of our employees here, and I'm issuing letter of accommodation and life saving award to their personnel file. And I will read through this letter real fast so everybody knows. The Hillsborough Fire Protection District believes in the recognition of our firefighters and officers, their actions and outstanding efforts in service to the community and their fellow employees. In keeping with the belief, the Hillsborough Fire Protection District's chief officers and board of directors recognize firefighter Ron Belcher, Lieutenant Dan Benedict, and Captain Kyle Husky for their outstanding efforts that occurred in January of 2024. On Saturday, January 27th, 2024, at approximately 7:13 p.m., the Hillsborough Fire Protection District, Cedar Hill Fire Protection District, Mappaville Fire Protection District, and Valley Ambulance District were dispatched to the 9200 block of State Road BB for the report of a patient trapped underneath a vehicle. Upon arrival, crews found that the vehicle had been stuck in the mud, and in the process of attempting to get the car unstuck, the chain broke, the car rolled back, and ran the patient over, trapping them underneath the vehicle. Crews very quickly developed a plan, and using 2 sets of airbags, lifted the vehicle off the patients within 11 minutes. Fire and EMS crews were able to gently pull the patient out from under the vehicle once the weight was off the patient. The patient suffered trauma to the chest area and was admitted to the intensive care unit at Mercy South Hospital. All firefighters are trained to mitigate situations like this, but they don't happen every day. In fact, a situation like this may happen only once in a firefighter's career. Firefighter Ron Belcher, Lieutenant Dan Benedict, and Captain Kyle Husky's quick assessment of the situation, teamwork with all the crews, and effective use of the airbags undoubtedly saved this patient's life. Therefore, those three, their actions qualify them for a life-saving award and bestows upon him the district and citizens for which it serves deepest appreciation. So, gentlemen, I appreciate what you guys did. You guys did a phenomenal job on that call. It definitely makes me proud to see you guys get out there and go to work like that. Sure, you know, all the letters are individualized to your names. I'll say all the the same time. Please, come on, hey, gentlemen, come on. Congratulations, Brian. Very well done. Job well done. Very nice. Lieutenant? Thank you guys again. Very, very good job. Well done. Al, thank you very much. Thank you guys again. Very, very good job on all of that again. Great. Odd type of a situation. You every day and 11 minutes to get that person out of there in mud, an unstable vehicle. It just went very well. And appreciation to the other fire districts that helped out as well too. So it's helped 18 members.
Excellent, guys.
Yes.
Great job, guys.
Bacon Commercial Design.
With the recent purchase of the Casey's lot for the fire district, I was kind of talking with Steve Bacon. If you guys know Steve Bacon Design, great guy, out of Festus over there. And I had him shoot us a quote for, hey Steve, what to meet with our committee? Can we get some preliminary ideas down on paper? What are things going to look like here in the future moving forward? Because now with acquiring that property, everything we do here is going to have an effect on what goes on over there. We need to have a direction for the future. We may not do any expansion onto that side. Obviously, we've talked about upgrading what's there now and using what's there now. But if we're looking at the bigger, longer term picture with Steve as to what's this going to look like when the district has saved enough money or has enough money to expand out. So reading through his scope of services, it's exactly kind of what we need with him. And I think the price is very, very reasonable at $3,750 to get some stuff on
Preliminary plans.
Preliminary plans, yeah, there won't be full architectural plans or anything like that, but we just bring them in, meet with the building committee and facilities committee, and know the direction that we're going. So, because if not, we're just, you know me, I always like to look towards the future. I don't like, if we don't look at it, we're going to do something that's going to end up costing us more in the future than we can think about. So, I would like to contract with Steve and get that moving in the right direction.
I make a motion for that.
So,
All in favor? All right, the IT cabinet.
More money. With the installation of the new alert system, we have to have somewhere to put it. So it is a computer system as well too. With this just sitting out here, we need to get that moved somewhere as well too. The initial idea was out front. After the IT guys came and looked at the area, they're like, well, it's not very secure there. It's right by a door. It could be, you know, getting wet with the weather. They go, I don't think that's a very good idea for all of that. So we got to looking around the building to see what else we could do at this point in time. And we looked into that closet right there. So after some discussion, that's going to be the best option to get everything IT-wise, that cabinet, the new alert system, everything moved into that cabinet. The only thing that we as the fire district has to do is run a electrical circuit with a 4-gang box over there. We can take care of that problem. Other than that, Feather Shark will come in, they'll get everything transferred over, everything moved over. We already have a cabinet out in the bay that they said that they can use that we acquired from Jeffco 911. It's a wall mount cabinet. So they'll move everything into a secured room, ready to rock and roll. It's costly at that price of $4,737.86.
Is that thing is it gonna generate heat in that closed space?
It could, but I think the answer, if it does, would be some sort of a louver with a fan on the door to keep the air moving in and out of there. So that'll be something I'll ask them about that, because you're probably right, it will generate something. I don't know. Run a small trunk line in there. And not the stairway. That's so.
You put split systems in
Some
rooms before, yeah, maybe they're different now, maybe it's not as much as it used to.
Yeah, obviously it'll come out of the building. And just so you guys know too, I forgot to tell you under the fire chief's report, we ran into a slight snafu with the exhaust system grant. We submitted reimbursement from that. We paid Magna Grip for the project. Well, FEMA denied the payment because we didn't have an environmental study approved by the Historical Society of the State of Missouri. So we had to go back, fill out some paperwork for that. I know. Resubmit that to the state of Missouri. Once that's done, we'll submit it to FEMA and get that $72,000 back to bring the funds back up in the building and land fund. Don't ask me.
We're on a 30-day hold from
Yeah,
Historical Society.
they have 30 days to give us a yay or a nay.
What does that have to do with anything?
I said the building, because the building's more than 4 years old, it has to go through the historical.
Suddenly a building built in 1980 is a historic building. It's almost freaking laughable. We did not think with this grant that we had to go through this, but
So we get a historic landmark sign.
if you would like, sir, we'll get a historic landmark sign for the
Yeah.
front of the building.
We can remodel.
What's it?
Well, we have a motion to approve, to get the cabinet taken care of and pay the fees. All in favor? Is there anything more before the board? Can I make a motion to adjourn at 7:30? All in favor?
Oh, don't go anywhere. We got you. Sorry.